Today we are looking at how to complete the form production input electricity. So basically the production input electricity, it depends on type of businesses that you operate in. You can have businesses that consume a lot of electricity, or electricity is critical for their operations. So like they call it power plant. Electricity, it needs to generate electricity, but obviously it needs electricity or it needs energy for it to generate the electricity. So electricity is very important in that environment, or a mining company where it consumes a lot of electricity, and electricity becomes the critical component of the operation. And other businesses are more into manufacturing. Manufacturing businesses, most of them rely on heavy equipment, and heavy equipment relies on electricity. Okay, there can be other sources of energy that are used, but mainly they're operated using electricity. So for those kind of operations, electricity becomes very, very important, and it becomes a very significant cost to the operation. So you might, in terms of when it comes to costing, you might under cost your products because you didn't take into account the electricity. It's important to know that it's not all businesses that electricity is critical. So now with this form, I just deleted the transition that was here, but you click on create to create electricity. So basically you analyze your electricity consumption from process to process. Remember when we did the process flow, we indicated that based on the app, the process flow, you need to break down your operations into 9 processes. So when you're analyzing electricity, you need to analyze how much consumption on each stage of production. So the important part is when you buy equipment, you need to know their consumption. You need to be able to calculate your cost per product, meaning you need to know how much does it cost you in terms of electricity to produce one product. And I must stress, this is for operations that electricity becomes a critical part of the operation. So each stage you need to determine what is important. If it's not important, you just say no, and the form will become smaller, and then you confirm, then you create. So your electricity will have been created, but there won't be any data inside. So that is for your offices, your training centers. I mean, we don't have to analyze electricity per process. It will be a waste of time. There's no value for money for a service business to analyze electricity per stage of its processing. So this is mainly for manufacturing concerns. So that is created, but if you want to edit or you want to create from the initial stage, then you just have to say, yes, you have data, then you select the sector. This sector comes from operation module. And then electricity description is, maybe you are using Eskom electricity. In the description, you just have to put Eskom electricity. Then you need to know what is the average rate of consumption in terms of electricity in your area, and the type of zoning that your business is in. Because remember, if you are in the industrial area, the rates per kilowatt or whatever the measure is not the same. So you need to know how much does it cost you in your area. And as well, taking into account the consumption, there are certain levels that you need to calculate, and there's certain time of the day, the rates are not always the same. So you need to analyze that, understand your sector, understand your area where you're operating, to say, how much does it cost me per unit in my area? Then you take the average. I mean, certain days are high, the rate is high, certain times is lower. So you need to understand the dynamics around that. Get your average cost per unit. Then, is electricity important? You say yes. And then stage 1, depends on how many kilowatts your unit you consume to produce per product. Okay, so let's say I'm just saying 100 per product. We're selling, we're mining heavy mining operation. So for us to produce the gold, we need, for each process that we have defined, we need 100 units of electricity, depending on the price. And then these two, the total number of electricity and the total cost of electricity, are automatically calculated by the system. We don't have to worry about that. And then you indicate that, have you secured the electricity, or your organization is still in the application process? Where are you in terms of electricity? Do you have access to sufficient electricity? Yes, electricity has been secured. And then availability, normally it's open market. I mean, electricity can be free, but it happens that you are operating from a factory where you are getting free electricity, for argument's sake. It's included in your rental, so you don't have to calculate it here. And then what are the risk factors? Maybe you might be, if it's Eskom, then you have load shedding. Shedding is one of the risks that you might have in terms of electricity, and then how you're going to mitigate that. Maybe you buy a generator. You're going to have a generator to mitigate the risk when you are on load shedding. Then you move your operations to a generator. Then once you've put all the data in, then you confirm. Once you confirmed, then that's it. Your electricity will be calculated, will be incorporated into your financial statement. You don't have to worry about that. And then your business plan will be updated accordingly. For that section on electricity in your business plan will be updated based on the information that you have given here. And like all other forms, you have underneath you have the educational material. If you want to watch this form, how you complete this form, you can use the how to complete this form. And then if you want to read about how to complete the form, you can read there. And then watch the video on electricity where it's explained in detail. You can watch it there. And then if you want to read the handbook, you click there, then the handbook will open. So that's the electricity form. Then when you go back, it's confirmed. You can see the data is confirmed. So you just have to go back to the business plan, and then you'll see electricity, both form completed and the data is confirmed. That's the electricity form, and that's how you complete that form. Thank you.